How to dare greatly through disruptive engagement and wholehearted parenting. I've been reflecting on several ideas from Daring Greatly by Brené Brown that feel both unsettling and clarifying, especially around disruptive engagement and wholehearted parenting. What stands out most is how often fear quietly organizes our lives and systems. People cling to what they already do well because putting themselves out there risks failure, being wrong, or being ridiculed. Shame fuels that fear. When shame rises high enough in any culture, family, workplace, or community, people disengage to protect themselves. When we disengage, we stop showing up, we stop contributing. Eventually, we stop caring. From there, it becomes surprisingly easy to rationalize behavior we would otherwise reject. Disruptive engagement, naming fear and refusing disengagement. Blame thrives in environments saturated with fear. It is rarely about truth, it is the discharge of discomfort and pain. When blame is driving, shame is riding shotgun. Nothing creative or courageous grows there, only defensiveness and silence. In systems where reputation matters more than human dignity, cover up culture replaces accountability. The message becomes clear: protect the image, not the people. When protecting power becomes more important than protecting people, shame becomes systemic and accountability disappears. Innovation requires exposure, and exposure requires safety. Feedback flourishes not when people become comfortable with hard conversations, but when they normalize discomfort as an expected companion of growth. Discomfort is not the problem, avoidance is. Courageous cultures do not eliminate fear, they create conditions where fear does not dictate behavior. Disruptive engagement means choosing participation over withdrawal. It means showing up even when vulnerability is present. It means refusing to allow shame to silence contribution. Wholehearted parenting, becoming the adults we hope to raise. These ideas deepen when applied to parenting. Children are shaped less by what adults know and more by who adults are. The essential question is not how do we parent, but rather are we the adults we hope our children will become. Children learn courage, compassion, and connection by experiencing them. We cannot give what we do not have. If we want children to live without armor, we must show them how to take ours off, how to be vulnerable, to show up, and to let ourselves be seen and known. There is a powerful shift that occurs when parenting moves from scarcity to enoughness. Fear of not being perfect often drives subtle comparison. If one cannot be ideal, one attempts to be better than someone else. Comparison corrodes connection. Children do not need perfection, they need belonging. Belonging means being somewhere one wants to be and being wanted there. It means being accepted for who one is. Fitting in, by contrast, means being accepted for being like everyone else. Belonging is unconditional. Fitting is conditional. Our children must know they belong without prerequisites. Dignity in the small moments. Often the smallest moments communicate the greatest truths. When a child walks into the room, what does the adult face communicate? Evaluation or delight? Correction or welcome? The difference shapes identity. Correction is necessary, but dignity must remain intact. A child is never the mistake they made, only a good human who made a poor choice. When shameful experiences are met with openness and conversation, they lose their defining power. They become one chapter in a much larger story surrounded by connection, learning, and resilience. Engagement means investing time and energy. It means learning their worlds, listening to their stories, and being fully present. It is the posture of saying, I am not perfect, I am not always right, I am here, I am open, I am paying attention, I love you. That kind of presence is sacrifice in its truest sense. To make something sacred by directing more of oneself toward what matters most. Sacrifice means to make sacred, to make holy. To parent wholeheartedly requires directing more of ourselves toward our children. It is an intentional offering of presence, attention, and love. The courage to allow struggle. One of the hardest acts of love is allowing struggle. When adults shield children from disappointment, they also shield them from hope. Hope grows when individuals can set realistic goals, identify pathways toward those goals, remain flexible when obstacles arise, and believe in their own capacity to persist. Resilience is not taught through protection, but through experience. Often it is not children who cannot bear vulnerability. It is adults who cannot bear the uncertainty of watching them face it. Yet courage emerges only when vulnerability is allowed. To raise hopeful children, adults must step back enough for them to encounter adversity, navigate conflict, assert themselves, and sometimes fail, while knowing they remain deeply loved. Courage over comfort. To dare greatly is not about winning or losing. It is about showing up, open, imperfect, and willing to be seen. In cultures saturated with scarcity and fear, vulnerability is quietly radical. There is no effort without error, no growth without discomfort, and no triumph without risk. When people choose engagement over withdrawal, dignity over image, and belonging over comparison, they create spaces where courage can take root. The invitation is simple, though not easy. Show up, stay engaged, protect dignity, normalize discomfort, and love without prerequisites. Courage grows where shame resides, and where courage grows, people, children, and adults alike learn they are worthy of belonging exactly as they are. Dare greatly. This is your moment. Take command and show us the path.